Welcome to the Bill Knight Ford Cascia Commando football show with head coach Joe Medina. Coach Medina, 27-7 win over Anadarko. At Anadarko, a big win.
A huge win because it puts us in the semifinals with a chance to play into the championship game, but just a great performance by our players. We had a tremendous crowd that traveled over 3 hours to get to Anadarko, and just an overall great football game for Cascia Hall.
Well, the first thing that jumped out at me looking at stats, the Blue Swarm.
Yeah, we gave up one touchdown early after a fumbled punt there on our 10-yard line, and we gave up some runs, but our kids played so resilient in all facets of the game. And as I always say, it starts on defense, and that's the reason why, we ended up taking charge of that football game and then ended up playing in the semis.
Well, now, if the stats I read were correct, you only punted one time.
Only punted one time, and the offense did a good job moving the ball. Wish we'd gotten a couple more scores, but we controlled the game pretty much from start to finish.
Well, let's roll into action here. Cascia Hall at Anadarko, and what a game it turned out to be.
Well, here we are starting on defense in Anadarko here with some very quick runners. Kid gets to the outside here and picks up some good yards. You see the natural grass field that came into play. We had some slips, a couple plays in there. We do force them to eventually punt the football on their opening drive, and then here's the big break for them. We fumble the punt inside the 10-yard line and put our defense, after they had held them, in a bad position here. Try to run the quarterback outside here, and we get some good pursuit. A nice tackle there by Jake Hall. And then they're going to just run kind of a student body right type here, and our kids play hard, but they get in for the early score there, 7-0. On offense right here, hand the ball off to Brett Boone. Brett's going to pick up about 6 yards. Anadarko with a very tough defense. Didn't give up any really big plays until late in the second half. Run Brett again. I thought it was important to get him moving. Throw a nice pass out here to Chandler Sokolowski from James Rouse for a first down. Rouse back to pass again here, throws the bubble screen out to Zach Powell, and Zach's done some good things for us the last couple weeks on offense. Right here, Grant Ward on the fake bubble, kind of a counter sweep with the quarterback, and he does a good job getting inside of the 25-yard line there. Back to pass we go, and James throws a nice ball here, and right there you can see a slip on the field, and Davis Lambert just mistimes that ball. Here we are in a fourth down play. Again, fumbled football, try to throw it up there for grabs. We got 3 guys there, but nobody is able to make the catch. Fortunately, we got a penalty, and here we throw the pass out there to Brett Boone. He gets tackled at the 1, and then we're going to slam it in here, 27 Bronco. Grant Ward in there for the touchdown, and Dalton Turner with the extra point, and we're going to have a tied game there as the first quarter comes to an end. Back on defense right here, again, you can see them running their counter sweep play. Big gain here for the Anadarko running back. Nice tackle back there. I believe that was Jake Hall again. Here they go, trying to run the same play again. Davis Lambert does a great job fighting off the hold for no gain. Back to pass, Anadarko goes, and a nice open field tackle there by Brett Boone. Again, got him in the third down situation here, get good pressure on the quarterback, and that's Hunter Hedrick with the quarterback sack. They punt the ball to us and pin us down there deep as we start in the second quarter here, and we're just going to grind it out. I think we had 44 offensive plays in the first half. Just really ball control. We moved the chains. Here's Dalton Turner with a nice run, breaking some tackles. Over here, throw the pass out to Tanner Swab, picks up a nice block there, and he gets a first down for us. Rouse back to pass here, another screen pass, this time to Grant Ward. Nice block out there by Joey Medina and Spencer Elias for a first down. Got another third down conversion here, hand the ball off to Brett Boone. He's going to pick up the first down there. Actually, that was short yardage, got us close, and there Trayson Rayleigh picks up the first down. Throw the hitch route out here. I believe that is Chandler Sokolowski. Again, trying to mix it up, be a balanced offense as we go through the playoffs. Run the counter sweep again. Some nifty running there by Grant. Gets us down close to the 10-yard line. Try to throw the tight end dump here on fourth down, and we miss a wide open receiver. Actually, that was the third down play. And here's the fourth down play. James kind of scrambles out, throws it up there, gives Davis a chance, but unfortunately we can't come down. Still 7-7 here. Got to keep playing defense. A nice tackle there. And eventually they're forced to punt out of their end zone. So James right here going deep to Cowan for a nice play there. Back to pass, James goes again. Beautiful catch here by Jackson McCormick. Unfortunately, they rule it. We had a penalty, and we go in at half 7-7.
7-7. It looked like, just in watching the film, that throughout the period there that you were maybe expecting the offense to do what it did the third quarter?
Yeah, we had our chances. We got down there the one time, got the touchdown call back. I was happy that we moved the ball, but sooner or later we needed to get points, again, because of the fact that Anadarko was so explosive. So in one play, they could have very easily taken the lead.
But we talked before we saw the tape that the defense was so important. Did you feel that was going to be consistent as it was?
Yeah, we started to settle in defensively, especially into the second quarter, and that's going to carry through in the second half as we got them in some situations where they had to throw the ball, and our coverage was good and our pass rush was good.
Stay with us here on the Cascia Commando Football Show. We're back with Coach Medina and the second half right after this.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and expert advice.
Welcome back to the Bill Knight Ford Cascia Hall Commando Football Show with head coach Joe Medina. Coach Medina at the half, 7-7, but yet the second quarter looked like you were going to break out. How did you handle the halftime?
Well, again, you just set the situation. It was a tie ball game. We had controlled the game, but we needed to get some points. And so my message to the team was, let's just be consistent in the second half and good things would happen, and that's exactly what turned out to be.
Well, absolutely, when they come back out and shut out the Warriors there in the second half. Let's roll into third quarter action. Again, Cascia Hall up 7-0 at the half.
Actually, it's 7-7 at this point. We get the ball first, and I thought it was an important thing to try to get out there and get the early score. James scrambles around, finds Grant Ward here for a big gain. Again, hand the ball here to Ward. He's going to get some good blocks over the left side, get close to a first down. Commando still on the drive. We're going to roll out to the right here. Just wish James would have thrown this ball instead of taking the sack and getting us out of field goal range. And then I believe this is a fourth down play. Try to hit Grant on the wheel here. Ball's a little bit underthrown. And then this is where it got scary because their defense was very fast. And, of course, you have those offensive linemen that aren't used to tackling. But I want you to watch number 79 there, Big Nate Martin, chasing the play down and getting in on the tackle and helping to save 6 points. So good hustle by the big man right there. On defense, put the defense in a bad bind again here. And Anadarko's got some momentum. Running up the field there, running the counter sweep play again over the left side, getting inside the 10-yard line. And here they're going to hand the ball off, and we get a nice penetration in there by Hunter Hedrick, and that sets up this play right there where they fumble. And we alertly recover it there, Jake Hall and Miles Waller there. And so we dodge a bullet. Could have been down 14-7. Again, the offense now has to try to get some points, throw the bubble screen again to the left. Zach Powell with good gain. Come back here over with the counter sweep pass. Davis Lambert, nice catch, breaks the tackle, and shows some speed here in the open field again against the fast football team. And there's our score to go up 14-7. Back on defense here, they still having snap exchanges. We get a nice quarterback sack there. Back to pass they go, try to throw the screen play here. Zach misses a tackle, but I believe that's Davis Lambert coming back with a nice tackle, and then they get the fumble here. And all of a sudden, Dalton Turner, one of those guys that has just latched onto the role we need him to play, very deservingly picks up a fumble there and gets into the end zone to give us a 20-7 lead. Late in the third quarter, but still plenty of time left to play with the whole fourth quarter to go. And again, with the athletes that Anadarko has, you got to be sure and just keep making tackles. Good coverage in the secondary there, forces a quarterback to run, and a nice tackle in there by Jake Hall again. Hand the ball off here after their punt to Grant Ward. Grant's going to pick up good yards over the right side this time. Again, our offensive line played really well, both in the run and the pass game department. Here we hand the ball off, and Grant's going to get tackled for a loss. And we have a fumble exchange of our own, and if we can just get rid of that, it always seems to happen to us in the third quarter, we would be a lot better. Getting a long yardage situation, run the draw play here, and gives us some room to punt the football there, our one and only punt back to Anadarko. Throw the screen here, and I love this play because you see about 4 white jerseys there to tackle the ball carrier. Played great team defense. Hunter Hedrick on his second sack right there. Again, that sack doesn't happen unless you have great coverage in the secondary. And then right here, Tanner Schwab should have had a pick, one of the guys that has the best hands on the team. Dropped that one, but he'll get the next one. After they punt, we got a good return, and now we really got to capitalize and try to cash in for the insurance score here. This is a 4th down play. You can see a great block on the edge there by Jackson McCormick and Tanner Schwab, and Grant Ward gets in there for the touchdown. 27-7 with about 5 minutes left to play. Force Anadarko to throw the ball. Brett Boone with a nice quarterback sack. They give us the ball back, and now the big thing is just keep the clock running, hold on to the football, and Grant does a good job there. Again, now clock within about 2 minutes. Hand the ball to Jared Mason here. He does a good job just going down, not trying to risk the extra effort. Here on a 3rd down play, hand the ball to Trayson Rayleigh. Again, just hold on to the ball. And then 4th down, we're going to take a knee and come away with the 27-7 victory.
Coach, 27-7 win in the state playoffs. That is always so confidential. Doesn't that make your team more confident?
There's no question it does. I think, to handle the long road trip down there, to handle a team that was very tough, a program that has a lot of pride that wasn't going to go away easy, and we had to really kind of break them, and we did there. We got the turnovers that were very timely, and then again we continued to run the football, and then also to mix in the pass there. So I think again the right word to use here is we're gelling, and we're gelling at the right time, and with that comes a lot of confidence as we move into the next round.
But Coach Medina, hasn't that been a philosophy of yours since day one, that you don't look a whole lot? The first 10 games just get you ready for the next 4 games.
Well, it's a process, and this year, again, we had some new pieces to our puzzle that we had to find the right places for them, and I think the thing I'm most proud of here is how this team has grown together and has continued to play their best game the next game out. So, and that's what we're going to need on Friday night.
But that is something that you have, I think, impressed upon the kids from day one, is what happens in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, because that's where those are the games that count, and those are the games that people remember you by, and here we are with a chance to add to that great Cascia football tradition.
Stay with us here on the Cascia Commando Football Show with head coach Joe Medina. We're back with special guests right after this.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Welcome back to the Bill Knight Ford Cascia Commando Football Show with head coach Joe Medina. And Coach Medina, at this time, we always have 2 very special guests. Introduce them and tell us something about them.
Well, we have 2 of our more talented players on the football team. We have Jackson McCormick, who started last year as a sophomore as a free safety, and he's playing that position as well as wide receiver this year. And next to me is a current sophomore, Tanner Schwab, who's had a phenomenal year, especially here later on in the season, making some big catches for us at his wide receiver position.
Always a pleasure having players aboard on the show, and always enjoy listening to what they have to say about great wins. And you had a great win on Friday night with your 27-7 win over the Anadarko Warriors. Now, let's start with you, Jackson. Kind of tell us, what did you think about it?
I thought we won solely because we're a grind team. We might not be, we're very talented, but we're not most of the time the most talented, but we like to grind out the games. And whenever we're both punching at each other, sometimes they'll back off with the punches and we'll keep rolling. And I think that's what puts us above most teams.
Confidence.
That too.
And Tanner, give us your impression.
Well, we went into halftime tied, and we came out with a lot of confidence, and we got a lot of key turnovers, and we converted on those.
And Coach, Did they play pretty much the way you expected?
Oh yeah, and I think Jackson said it best. It was a grind game. There was no question about it, and that's what you're going to get in these playoffs. But I think that's where we're comfortable. Some may call it confidence, but our kids are built for that type of game, and they did a great job coming out in the second half, as Tanner said. Taking advantage of those turnovers and getting points off of them.
I think it's always interesting when you have a long bus ride. Now, you had a 3-hour bus ride from, the eastern part of the state out to the western part of the state. And how did you keep your mind on what you were doing? Jackson, we'll go with you again. And how did you feel when you got there? Were you tired?
I think most of us on at least the first leg before we ate at Millwood, we all took a nap. I know I did. I slept the whole time. We sat down on the bus. About 5 minutes into it, I was out. I don't know about everybody else. I think most people were out too. So, but once we got there, once we ate at Millwood, then I think everyone was woken up and ready for the game.
And Tanner, how was your impression?
Kind of like Jackson said, once we got to Millwood, while we were eating, we all bonded as a team and all got ready for the game.
Now, let's go one step farther. Tanner, how was it coming back?
It was a lot better. It was fun.
Jackson?
It was fun. We had our, quote, theme song going, and, people hooting and hollering about our win.
Well, let's take a look at what's going to happen this Friday night. Before I do that, how was your ride back? Did you sleep?
I slept a little bit. I kind of hung out with Coach Warburton, our baseball coach, and if those of you that know Coach Warburton, he kept things lively.
So you didn't get to take a nap, really?
I didn't.
Well, let's take a look at Friday night now. The Commandos in the 4A state semifinals, a 10th time in the history that you've been there. That's remarkable. That's really remarkable when you take a look at it. And your opponent, number 1, undefeated, the Bulldogs from Wagner High School. Now, several weeks ago you played, they came out on top. What was it, 14-7?
14-7.
Now, what do you take away from that first game that's going to really help you in this game? Jackson?
I think that the first game, I feel like they had a few quite lucky turnovers, like it bounced off 3 people's face and helmet and hands and then go straight into their chest. A few turnovers like that. One drop pass went straight into their hands and then they returned it back, but luckily they committed a personal foul. But our physicality, they weren't ready for it. They thought they were just going to walk over us, but I think our O-line and D-line showed that we can hang with just about anybody and hang with their talent with our physicality.
And Tanner, you've grown up a lot since that first game, so give us your impression.
Well, we kind of let that win go away from us, and now we're on a good streak, and I think we're ready for this one.
Well, let's just talk real briefly, and we're about to run out of time here, but practicing and playing over Thanksgiving, how are you going to handle it, and what will it mean to you?
I think this week, since we're not in school, we'll be even that more focused on football and be more involved as a team and not be tired at practice and stuff like that.
Jackson?
Tanner.
Tanner, rather, I'm sorry.
Like Jackson said, we'll be really focused, and we have a lot of activities that are going to get our team bonded together throughout the week to get us ready for the game.
And Coach, it sounds like that they're looking forward to it.
Well, Thanksgiving week practice is always special, not only for the players, but also for our community, their parents in particular. It's a special time, and we've earned it, so it's going to be a fun week at Cascia Hall.
Well, we have only about a minute left, but a win on Friday night at Jinx, 7 o'clock kickoff, that you will put you in the state finals, a chance for a gold ball. Quickly, what does that mean for you?
It means the world to us and the team and the Cascia community.
I agree with him.
And Coach?
It's just special. I mean, there's no other word that comes to mind. You get to this point after such a long season, and the kids deserve this. They deserve this opportunity, so hopefully they can make do with it on Friday, and then we'll worry about the next game, the final game of the year, next week. But we got a lot of work to do, and we've got a tough opponent, but I'm confident in my guys.
But you have been through this Thanksgiving before, and it has always come out good for you.
It's always come out good. We're undefeated in semifinals, so hopefully that streak continues.
Well, best of luck, and we'll see you in Jinx on Friday night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Stay with us here on the Cascia Commando Football Show. We're back with Coach Medina right after this.
I want to be able to impact the community, to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to the Bill Knight Ford Cascia Commando football show with head coach Joe Medina. Coach Medina, here we go into number one in the state, Wagner, a team that you've played before, but kind of give us just a little reminder of what you feel about the Bulldogs of Wagner.
They're awesome.
They're awesome.
I mean, just to put it plain and simple, they're awesome. You know, they're the champs until somebody beats them, and they're playing so well. They're probably averaging, close to 40, 45 points per game, giving up a touchdown per game. So, I mean, they have it all. They have it starts with their quarterback, Malcolm Rodriguez, who's just a heck of a football player on both sides of the ball. They have an explosive wide receiver in Nikita Jones that he's 6'2", 6'3", 215 pounds. It's a human highlight reel. Their offensive line is tough. Their defensive line is tough. They're just solid all the way around. But you know what? We match up well with them. And we proved that the first time out. And I think one of the kids said this. I think they underestimated our physicality, and so we're going to kind of operate with the same game plan, get after them, and hopefully find a way to get one more point than they do.
Well, as you kind of look back on District 4A3, it seems like there were some games that the margin of victory was rather great, and then others it wasn't. So when you talk about what you do and what Wagner does, and you're very comparable, then we could look for that close game again.
Well, I just think you have to look at the score of that game. It's a 14-7 game, and this is when, again, as I mentioned, Wagner's averaging 40, 45 points per game. So our defense played really well. And then for those of you that remember that first game, we had some chances there at the end to tie the game or even take the lead, and we had some drop passes. Jackson mentioned the turnovers early. We turned the ball over 2 out of the first 3 offensive plays that we had. So, again, part of that gives you a lot of confidence that you were right there, but it's a different game. It's a different game under different circumstances. We just have to be ready and take each individual play and try to win those battles individually and hopefully win the war at the end.
Well, did I read the paper correctly that Wagner's last loss was to Cascia last year in the 5th game?
It was. We were playing at home in our blue jerseys, which, by the way, we're going to be wearing blue jerseys on Friday, so maybe that's a good omen. But they've had a really good run, and they're so well coached to go along with all those great athletes. You're not going to pull anything over them. You just have to go out there and grind it out and slug it out and take the game from them. And I'm confident in this football team. I think that's, again, what we're built for.
Well, kind of give our viewers just a kind of a snapshot view of what to expect offensively and defensively from Wagner.
Well, offensively, again, it starts with the quarterback, whether he throws the ball or runs the ball. When he throws the ball, he's going to try to get it up to number 5 and let him make a play. They have about 3 running backs that are all solid up front. Their offensive line is big and strong, but we're going to match them. We're going to match force with force. On defense, they play an old 5-2 defense with man coverage in the back. So, again, we've got to just root those guys out. I think a key thing for us is going to be we have to account for every single one of their front 7 players, meaning that we've got to get a hat on a hat or just block each and every one of them. If we let one of them slip through a block, then they're going to end up making a tackle for a short gain.
Well, do you expect any kind of a major change from Wagner from what they were in the middle of the season and from what they are now?
No, good teams don't change, JV. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we pulled out the film and we watched it, and obviously there's some minor changes because of people that get hurt during the year, but it's the same thing as what we saw the first time around, and they, I hope, can say the same thing for us. Hopefully we're just doing it at a little bit better level now. So, again, good teams don't change. You know what each other's going to do, and you just go out there and try to stop it.
And, I think a question that every viewer always wants to know, when you get to this point, health-wise, are you reasonably good?
Yeah, we're reasonably good. That's a good way to say it. We've got our bumps and our bruises, but again, at this point in time, so does everybody else. And for those players that aren't aren't going to play, the next man has to step up, and he's expected to make plays just like the guy that he's covering for. So, I'm happy with the group that we have out there. And we're going to, give it our all, and hopefully, again, as I always say, try to have one more point.
I think it's so interesting when you look at District 4A3 because it seemed as though we were kind of prejudiced all year about how tough it was. Now, 3 of the 4 final teams are from District 4A3. Does that surprise you as a coach?
Not at all. I mean, you go through those battles, and those battles prepare you for those games, as we've had in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, the Salisaws and the Anadarkos. And, here again, we get to play another team that we're familiar with, that we've gone through the battles, that we know we can stand toe-to-toe with. So I'm happy with our district. I'm glad we're going to be in that district again next year because, again, it just brings the best out of us and prepares us for these moments.
It seems to me, in following the Commandos over the years, with you as their head coach, but it seems like when they play the team that has received a lot of recognition, has received high rankings, it seems like you come and you really put your act together. I'm looking forward to that Friday night.
Me too. I'm looking forward to see how much better this team can get. I keep asking them to play their best game for the next game, and the kids have responded, and I'm just very excited that we're here. Practicing over Thanksgiving, I'm sure we'll have a big crowd, and it's just going to be a special week for us, hopefully capped off with a big win Friday night.
How will you do it on Thanksgiving Day?
Oh, we'll have our 8:30 in the morning practice. We'll have our coffee, our donuts, our Christmas music playing. So invite all those people to come out 8:30 at Cascia Hall.
And we can watch you practice.
And you can watch us practice.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you, JV.
That's the Bill Knight Ford Cascia Hall Commando football show with head coach Joe Medina. Best of luck to the Commandos, and we'll see you again next week.
Movies are one thing, but in the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake, and you'll be seen as a hero by your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov today.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.